How's it going, guys? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. I know a lot of people like the deadlift tutorial 101, so today I'm just going to do the same thing but for squat. So we're just going to go through a few cues that you can implement into your own training to better your squats. So the first thing that I always tell people when it comes to squatting is to find their proper bar positioning. Obviously you have, I'd say, three main position when it comes to squat. You have the regular high bar, where the bar is going to sit on top of your traps. So just here, right here. Here the bar is sitting on my traps. Boom, I'm just going to squat down. That's a proper high bar. Boom. Then you got the low bar, and don't worry, we'll go through all of them one by one. Low bar, the bar will be sitting on your rear delts. Boom. Now it's nice and settled on your rear delts. Boom. Boom. And then you got the French low bar. I mean, I would never recommend anybody to do that, but some people are able to make it work. It's even lower. So here is my rear delts. I don't know if you can get a back angle, just to show them from the back the difference. So here, that'll be a high bar. The bar will be sitting on my traps. Boom. Here, I'm a low bar. The bar, I'm creating a shelf with my rear delts. Again, when you do that, right, you don't want to have your elbows too flared, right? That's the number one mistake I see. You want to still keep your rib cage down. See the difference from here? People usually tend to shrug that bar when it comes to low bar. No, just unrack it from this position. You unrack it, you keep it here, and then rib cage down. Boom, that's a proper low bar. And then you have the French low bar, which will be sitting even lower. To be honest, I don't know how they make that lift, but the bar will be sitting here, and then boom. And then you know that this type of squatting will recruit a lot of your back muscles, lower spine, and more glutes. So why do people squat high bar? Why do people squat low bar? Just because they have different body types. If you have long femurs and short torso, you'll be in a better position to find your midfoot in the low bar position, just because I have long femurs and a short torso, so my hips are going to sit a little bit further back, right? It's harder for me to stay stacked in my midfoot if the bar is sitting on my traps, just because my torso is not as long as other people. And this is why when I squat down in a high bar position, I need a little elevation on my heel just so I can stay stacked. I'm gonna demonstrate that. If I'm here and I try to sit down and I'm pretending I'm doing a high bar squat, boom, 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 boom. Here, it's hard for me to stay in a stacked position just because my femurs are extremely long compared to my torso, compared to a person that has shorter femurs and a longer torso. Come over here. We'll show the difference. So we'll use Lori as an example. So put squat from the side just to show. Now just squat down like you're doing a normal high bar squat. Just sit in the hole. You see, guys, how her torso length is so much longer and the femur length is all shorter than mine. So she can stay in that position all day long. I cannot. If I try to stay in this position, I'm gonna start falling back just because our point of levels are different when it comes to squatting. So that's why this person will be a great high bar squatter, which will be great for the quads, and a person that has longer femurs with a short torso will be better at low bar. Okay, so that's step one, bar positioning. So step two, once you're comfortable and you know what kind of bar position you should be using, now it's time to know how to properly brace and how to properly position your feet. Because after the unrack, it's you that unrack the weight, and you have to set your feet and create and generate tension throughout the whole squat. I see a lot of people that don't know how to brace, and it's sad because the bracing is the number one thing that will protect your spine from getting injured. So a brace, think of your belly like a can, and it's 360, right? If the can is, I poke a hole in the can, right? And I start bracing, well, the can is gonna crush just because there is air going out. Think of it the same. You don't want air going out. So all you need to do is not brace from your abs. A lot of people are like flexing their abs when they're here. They flex their abs. No, you should not flex your abs. That's how you break your spine. You should push, push, right here. Think of it like somebody's gonna punch you in the stomach and you have to resist. Breathe from your diaphragm. You don't wanna take air from your lungs or flex your abs. You wanna expand that belly. And something great that I found, a great warm-up for that is taking your belt, right? Set it not tight, very loose. So I'm gonna be very loose here, right before you squat. Take your belt, and from this point on, I'm gonna be here, and I'm really gonna push against that belt, but 360. You got, basically, it might sound stupid, but you gotta try to make yourself fat when you squat, right? So here, I'm just gonna grab the plate. Here, I'm bracing so hard, and you wanna keep that from the second you unrack the bar to the second you know, and you come back up and you rack the weight. You wanna keep that tension the whole time. And you'll see, once you start using a belt with proper bracing, just doing the bar and keeping that tension might make you dizzy, just because there's so much blood rushing through your head, and then that's how you build it. So this was a bracing. All right, so once you're here, I'm just gonna go low bar. Feet positioning, I see a lot of people, I see a few people actually, unracking the weight with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Never do that, never do that. This is terrible. So what you wanna do is bring your feet forward. You see how my feet are, if I look at the bar, my feet are actually further forward than the bar. So that's what you wanna do. Right here, boom, set your feet a little bit more forward. And you wanna, from here, big brace. I usually shift in my heels here, and then boom, leg press. It's like here. Now I'm in a stack position. The bar is midfoot. That means if I trace a line going from here to the middle of my foot, it's midfoot. I'll be reaching the middle of my foot. So here, big brace. Here I have all that tension. You want to keep that tension. And once you place your feet, now you're ready to squat. Again, when you're here, don't breathe in from your lungs, because after that, your rib cage is gonna be too high. You wanna keep your rib cage down throughout the whole squat. That's cue number, very important. Not here, because then you're dumping in hyperextension. And even if you're gonna grind here, you're gonna start grinding, and then your knees are gonna start caving in, perhaps. It's just gonna be a whole mess. So what you wanna think when you're here, you wanna think of your feet nice and stacked. You wanna root the ground, really like use your feet just like hands, right? That's why I recommend people to use like shoes with a wide toe box so they can really grip the ground. It'll be better if you can use no shoes, but we don't squat with no shoes. In competition, it's illegal. Get, boom, tightness, feet forward, big breath, midfoot, keep that bar midfoot. You don't want to start moving from here. Here, you're stacked, nothing moves, boom, boom, boom. And then, when you go down, like I said, you want to keep that tension, and then some people are gonna be more tend to push the knees forward, or the knees out, or more neutral. I have long femurs, so I have to drive my knees forward and come down with it. But again, when you drive your knees forward, you don't want to drive your knees forward here and then stop driving your knees and then dumping, because then you're gonna dump in hyperextension once again. You want to reach, your knees has to reach the furthest point of travel, right? When you reach the hole. So here, I'll keep traveling forward, 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 forward. Here I'm in the hole. I was still traveling, and then I go back up instead of driving the knees forward like this, midway, and then it doesn't drive anymore. That's bad. Whew. Okay. All right. One thing I wanted to add on when it comes to your knees traveling forward, this is called dorsiflexion. And I know some people might feel very tight from your ankle. This is all about ankle mobility. If you feel like your ankles cannot travel forward, there's two things. One, work on it just by stretching your ankles, just so you can travel more forward so you can keep your heels on the ground or just be slightly elevated. If you feel like when you try to push your knees forward, your heels are coming up, just either start squatting with heels, a slight heel just to get used to it first, because you don't want to go from flat to a big heel, or you can place little plates under. It will help you travel forward with your knees. Boom, I'm here. Boom, traveling forward. Push the knees forward, forward, forward. Bam. Instead of being here, then here. It's more like boom. As you can see, my knees are always traveling forward throughout the whole movement. Forward, 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 boom, bam. That's just one thing I wanted to add on, and actually, I found something called VersaLift. It's little slight insoles that are about 1/2 inch that you can put in your shoes, so you don't even have to worry about that. I'm gonna actually show you guys what I'm talking about. And I have terrible dorsiflexion. So when my dorsiflexion is bad, just slap those bad boys, 1/2 inch heel under my shoe, and then there you go. And I have no more worries after that. And then the last tip that I'm gonna give you guys, if you find yourself moving slow, I have a little tip that I can give you that worked for me and a lot of people that I coached, my ex-clients. It's properly exhaling. So when you're in the hole of the squat and you find like you're struggling here, like from the hole to here is like usually your hard part, I would advise you to start exhaling. You don't want to exhale your air, all your air, but you want to exhale a little bit because there's so much build of tension, and it helps me be explosive on all 3 lifts. I excel on squat, bench, not deadlift, but that's sometimes I do on stiff bar, which is weird. I excel on stiff bar, but I don't excel on deadlift bar. That means I just have to recruit more tightness when it comes to deadlift bar. But what I do is when I'm here, I don't care if I sound like a blown tire, it really helps me be more explosive off the hole. There's a lot of squatters that are doing this. I know Perk is squatting like this too. So when you're here, you have all that tension. When you reach the hole, it really helps me explosive. And the reason why, I'll tell you, the reason why is because when you exhale hard like this, you can generate more power, just like a fighter, right? Fighter, when they throw punches, they're not gonna go like this. They're gonna exhale to generate more power. It's the same thing with squat. It really works. So yeah, that was just a little 5 cues that you can implement into your own training when it comes to squatting. And definitely let me know in the comments which lift we want to see next. I might do bench press because I know a lot of people want to know how to improve your bench with long arms. I have long arms, and I know a lot of people are better at deadlifting and they're struggling with the bench press. So I think next tutorial will be about bench pressing. So if you like those 5 cues, just drop a like, leave a comment, and I will see you next Sunday, guys. Peace.